Good morning. It's Barbara. I'm already out here because this is take 2 because I was just going on and on. I'm like, oh, God. Thank you for joining me for coffee. It is early. Not as early as that could have been because I was up literally at the crack of dawn. Christy is on the road back to Mississippi. She has a very long drive today. I don't expect her to get home till, midnight. It's a very long drive. So I got up and made her some coffee and hugged her goodbye and bon voyage. So she's on the road. We had a really, really nice visit. It was short, but it was very nice. And she had a very nice visit with her dad and stepmother yesterday too. So it was worth the drive for her, I think, and certainly lovely to have her here. But she's gone. It's Saturday today. I didn't really do very much yesterday. I was just recovering. I don't know what I'm going to do today. I may still be recovering. Maybe it'll take 2 days. I don't know. I showed you the gizmo in the first take of this, but it's like 52 degrees out here. I actually had to put the furnace or the heat pump on auto because it was only 63 degrees in the house, and in the winter we keep it at 66. So but we had it on air conditioning, so I put it on auto, so it'll give us heat, and then if it gets warmer this afternoon it'll go back to the air conditioning. If it doesn't, well, it was only going to go to 66. I mean, it was only a few degrees low, but it felt really chilly. I have a sweater on underneath my Korean here, and I'm wearing my Musselburgh hat. One of them. I made quite a few Musselburghs. We were watching the Lindley series, Christy and I, Inspector Lindley, and one of the episodes, the landlady, was wearing a knitted hat, and I was thinking, I probably need to start wearing more hats. My hair is very, very, very thin. It's like useless in terms of keeping my head warm. Besides not looking terrific. And I thought, maybe I should go with more hats. I do have quite a few hats. More hats than I feel like I need, but what does that even mean? My problem with my knitwear is that I don't have good places for it to live. To sort of be in a state where it's easy to find and easy to pick which one I want to wear, that kind of thing. That's my problem at the moment. And that includes my shawls, my sweaters, and my hats. And my fingerless mitts don't even have a place to be. I have no idea where they are. I have a couple pairs of those. Juanita made me a pair when we were at Rhinebeck all those years ago. And I made a pair. My sister made me a pair. So I don't know where they live. So anyway, but so I'm wearing my Korean over a sweater so that I'm comfortable out here. It is early enough that the sun isn't even high enough to be on me yet. So if I come out in another hour and a half, the sun will be right here. But meanwhile, it's a little cool. It's not super breezy, or it wouldn't work out here for sure. So anyway, so I went to the neurologist on Wednesday. I had the MRI on Monday. And so I went to the neurologist, and he's a very sort of grandfatherly kind of guy, East Asian. We got into all kinds of conversations. He trained in the UK, and he's a member of the Royal Academy of Physicians, something, And he's so funny because I told you this before. He just, he's not rushing you. He gives you, like his appointments must be a half an hour apart because he's a talker. Anyway, he showed me my MRI, and there are little white dots in my brain as they're depicted in the MRI. And he says that they are the ends of the tiny little blood vessels in my brain, and they're getting a little calcified, like, hardening of the arteries, but just the tiniest little speck at the end of, quite a few of these little blood vessels. And he said, this isn't good. I mean, it's not bad now, but this is an indication of something that needs to be, prevented from getting worse in the future. He thinks that those little dots are the reason for my episodes. He didn't see anything that would, that indicates that I'm in some imminent danger of stroke, which was good. But, he thought that's what this, and he was very sort of like, nah, don't worry about that, So apparently my episodes, shouldn't worry me too much. They certainly don't impact my life at all other than worrying about them. So that was a relief. He started talking about, anti-cholesterol drugs. He says my LDLs are really high, although they weren't broken out by the good LDLs and the bad LDLs. So I don't know about that. I got a bee here, wasp. So he gave me a prescription for another blood test that will break those down, hopefully. But before I went there, I got a message on my medical portal that they had looked at the results of my echocardiogram, and there was something abnormal with my echocardiogram, and that they recommend that I go see a cardiologist. So I have an appointment with a cardiologist in November. And so everything that he was talking about that he thought would be what I should do is really cardiology territory. So I said, well, I'm going to wait till I go to the cardiologist before I don't want to have an argument with him about why I don't want to take a statin, and then have to argue with the cardiologist too. I'll just wait and argue with the cardiologist. So I started the summer with, maybe I'll go see my doctor for my yearly physical, and now I have a neurologist and a cardiologist, which these things do not make me happy, although Christy said it's better that you have them than if you needed them and didn't have them. So she's right about that, I guess. But yeah, I forget what I was going somewhere with that, and it didn't arrive. I don't know where I was going with that. So anyway, that was kind of disappointing. And we'll see what the cardiologist says after looking at my echocardiogram in November. Meanwhile, I have my regular, yearly physical with my primary care physician in a couple weeks. And it'll really be the first time I'm talking to her after all this started, because my original diagnosis or my original worry visit was with the physician's assistant. So I haven't actually talked to my actual primary care physician since this all started. So anyway, that's what's with me. Now I have a cardiologist and who I've never met, and neurologist who I'm not going to go back to see. He was really funny. I said, so you don't really need to see me anymore. He said, no, why? Why should you come? You don't do anything I tell you. You don't listen to me. It's like you're in charge. I'm like, yeah, I am in charge. He says, well, yeah, I guess you are. I got to be in charge. Somebody's got to be in charge. If I'm going to be seeing 3 or 4 doctors, somebody's got to be in charge, and it's going to be me. So, and he did agree that that was appropriate. He was really funny. I obviously am in a doctor's office masked, and, nobody else has a mask on. And he teased me about this mask. And I said, well, I don't want to get COVID. And he said, do you think I have COVID? I said, I don't know if you have COVID. And I don't think you know if you have COVID. Because half the time, apparently COVID's asymptomatic a lot. And, and I know when I had COVID, I had COVID for a couple days before I even knew I was sick. So I'm like, and you don't know if you have COVID either. And I said, but I can tell you, you've coughed 2 times while I've been sitting here in this office. He says, I have. I said, oh, yeah. He said, you counted? I said, oh, yeah, I counted. I'm sitting here very happy I have my mask on. He said, oh, it's my medication, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, right. It's my medication. I have allergies. Yeah. All I know is I'm glad I have my mask on. We kind of tease each other. But unless somebody says you should go back to your neurologist, I probably won't be seeing him again. He thinks that those little white spots are the cause of my episodes, and he wasn't really very worried about them. So I guess I'm not going to be either. They're not debilitating in any way. And I don't know if I already said this, and I apologize, because, when you start over, it's hard to know when you said what. I just noticed them, and, the worst part of them is that then I worry, because what the heck? So maybe I won't worry quite so much, I hope. So anyway, that's the, update. He gave me a prescription for a blood test to try to, I'm hoping to try to split out the LDLs so I can see really what's going on. But he was hilarious. I mean, he looked at my blood work and he grabbed his blood work out of the drawer and said, oh, yours is worse than mine. But I'm like, yeah, and that's relevant. Why? Anyway, it was pretty funny. But I will make an appointment to get my blood taken now that I know I should be doing that, and I'm sure that will go better. I will not wait 3 hours next time, and I won't go on a Monday. So anyway, that's what's going on with me. I don't expect to do too much today, number one, because I literally got up at the crack of dawn, and so I'm sitting here yawning half the time. And so I'm meaning I didn't get enough sleep because I didn't go to bed earlier because I wasn't tired. I'll be tired earlier tonight, so maybe I can swing my whole thing a little earlier, which wouldn't make me sad. So yeah, so that's what's going on with me. Yeah, I'm expecting to take it pretty easy today. It's a Saturday, so the park will probably be full of people doing sporty things when we walk the dog, so we'll probably do that a little later than usual. And yeah, that's it. But now that it's sweater weather, I maybe will be starting to get the impetus to work on my Daft Days cardigan, because I do want to own that. And once I pick it up and start, it is fun. I don't know what's stopping me. But meanwhile, got some bird. Is that the catbird? No. I don't know. I can't look on my Merlin app while I'm talking to you. So anyway, that's where I am right this minute. So thinking about Christy doing her super long drive, but she took a cup of coffee. That should help, and I'm sure all will be well as she travels. It's a beautiful day for a drive, and she's headed west, so she doesn't even have the sun in her eyes till later. Yep. So anyway, I think I'm gonna go. I gotta go bring Dennis a cup of tea, because now is time for him to wake up and have his tea and start his day. But meanwhile, I've been up since 7. Yeah, crazy. Meanwhile, I'm gonna go. Please take good care of yourselves. Please, please, please stay safe and stay sane.